Hey, what's up guys? The Ultimate Gamer here. Here recording another video. And this time I'll be talking to you guys about how video games have become such a huge important in my life. Now, video games have always been such a passion for me ever since I was little. I've been playing them since I was about 6 years old. And I remember growing up, I had a Nintendo 64 back in the day when I had Mario Party and Super Smash Bros., Star Fox 64, Diddy Kong Racing, Resident Evil 2, GoldenEye 64, all the memorable classics of classic gaming. And then after that, I got a PlayStation 1, the very first one, and I got Resident Evil Director's Cut, number 2, and they got number 3, Silent Hill, Metal Gear Solid, Mortal Kombat 2 and 3, Final Fantasy 6 and 7, and 8, Star Ocean, Xenogears. You could pretty much name every single game that I own, but video games have become such a huge has become such a huge impact in my life. And video games from this day on have been huge, and since technology has been growing so quickly the past years to come, if I had to stick just with one console in particular, I'd have to go with PlayStation, because PlayStation has been my favorite console ever since I was little. You know, I've been very supportive in Sony, but I respect Sony's decision for the new PlayStation 4. And unfortunately, I will not be getting it, and I'm thinking of just sticking with my PlayStation 3 because there are still a lot of great games that for PlayStation 3 that I haven't even had a chance to play. Like, I never played Dark Souls, I never played the Uncharted 2 and 3, I never played Batman Arkham City, I never played Mass Effect 3, never played Skyrim, never played Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. There's so many great games for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and the Wii that I haven't even got a chance to play of. It's because games are always so expensive, and I always have to wait until they're under $30, and then they become greatest hits. And sometimes they can last for a very long time, and sometimes you'll get content if you get it pre-owned, or if you get it new, you can always buy the game separately. I'm sorry, you can buy the game brand new, no scratches, no fingerprints, no nothing, and then buy the download content through your accounts of whatever console that you owned. But the reason why video games have become such a huge part of my life is because I remember when I was growing up, I was back in Florida, where I used to live in Florida. And my very first console that I ever owned was a Nintendo 64. I used to remember the Rumble Packs where you could put more megabytes onto your Nintendo 64, and you can play more games through your multi-tap. That's for the PlayStation 2. But video games have become such a huge part of my life just because I'm very passionate about them. I love the majority of playing games. I'm always fascinated by how they create the games, how they make the characters, how they make the levels. And it feels like you're in their world. It feels like whenever you're playing a video game, say like you're playing Valkyria Chronicles, or Tales of Grace F, or Ni no Kuni, or think of any role-playing game that you can possibly think of. When you play like the first half an hour to an hour of the game, it really feels like you're in their universe. It feels like you're controlling the player you're controlling the protagonist of who you're playing as, and it feels like you're in their world. It's fascinating to see because there are so many great developers out there, like Namco, Xseed, Capcom, Atlus, Ubisoft, Square Enix, Squaresoft. I can go on with this whole list, but there are so many great companies out there, and there's so many good games that are waiting to be discovered, waiting to be played. Just feeling that excitement, feeling the emotion behind the character, and feeling the story, and knowing that some of the stories are pretty well pretty well driven. They're pretty well said. They're pretty well wrote. But whenever you feel like you're playing in a video game, something like Valkyria Chronicles or the old Star Ocean or any old Final Fantasy games or Fable or Onimusha, for example, it really feels like you're in their world, and you feel so connected to the character. It feels like you're a huge part of their world, and you want to be able to discover all these many great places that don't even exist. And you feel blessed, you feel satisfied, you feel grateful, you feel achieved, you feel accomplished. So not only video games have become such a huge part in my life, but I'm very passionate about them as well. I mean, I have about 38, 39 PlayStation 3 games, and I have maybe 6 or 7 PS2 games. And part of the reason why I own those games is because I love them with all my heart. I probably spend about 2 to 3 hours each day playing different games. I don't play just one game constantly. I alternate the games. So, like, if I'm playing Assassin's Creed Brotherhood right now, the next day I'll be playing Resident Evil 6. And then the next day I'll be playing Final Fantasy 13. And then the other day I'll be playing Destroy All Humans. A pretty good game. Old PS2 game. You should go ahead and check that out. It's pretty fun. But the point is, video games have been such an impact to myself and to everybody else out there in North America and China, South America, Canada, Australia, even Japan. I mean, there are so many countries out there who are fans of Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft, all these different developers and these different publishers for these games. And ever since I was 6, 7 years old, I've always wanted to become a video game tester because I'm pretty good at knowing when the game is going to be released. I'm very good on how well the game is going to be. Like, I remember when Uncharted Drake's Fortune first came out on the PlayStation 3. That's an exclusive only to the PlayStation 3 back in 2007. And I saw the trailer at E3 for Uncharted, and I'm thinking, that game looks freaking incredible. It's basically a male version of Tomb Raider. I've only played the first Uncharted, and the first Uncharted was absolutely fantastic. But I've heard many great things about Among Thieves and Drake's Deception. So, when you play a game, and you realize how much time and effort these developers put into the game and put the music in, they put the actors, the actresses, and everything. Just think of how much time and effort they spend in these games. The reason why they're making these games is because fans are demanding to wanting a new game from developers. They want to keep the same original formula, or maybe they want to have a rebooted series like Alice Madness Returns or DMC Devil May Cry, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. You can name all these great games that I've just listed now and just picture them in your mind and just I wonder how it would feel like to be in a 3D dimensional world where there's so many things that you can do, in a role-playing game like Final Fantasy, for example. Final Fantasy, there's so much exploration, like in Final Fantasy VII, it was one of the most memorable Final Fantasies of all time. You got to see Sephiroth, and you got Cloud, and, there's so many great characters in the world of video games. Not just role-playing, but also in fighting, strategy, puzzlers, platformers, action-adventures, and even stimulation games like Gran Turismo or Rock Band. But video games not only has changed my life, but it's become an interest. It's become a hobby of mine, and I've always wanted to become a video game tester, and hopefully one day I'll get to learn more about becoming a tester and to, prove my knowledge and prove my skills and my academics to, the gaming industry, and hopefully I'll be able to, be a part of the community and be a part of making a game and making sure the fans demanding what they want. If they want like a new story branched with, a character who has such emotion, who will always be memorable, be more epic, just something that video games can cherish for a very long time. Last year they celebrated 25 years of Metal Gear Solid, and that game has been around for about 25 years. I've been a Metal Gear fan all my life since the second one came out on PlayStation 2, Sons of Liberty, which is my favorite Metal Gear game of all time. But what are you guys' thoughts and opinions of how video games influence your life? Do you think it's the same thing as I'm saying right now, or do you think it's or do you think it's different? Maybe it's something that you have different opinions on that I haven't even said. If you guys think of anything else, leave a comment in the section below. And as always, I'm the Ultimate Gamer, and remember to comment, and subscribe. It will definitely help my channel. I'm trying to spread the word out there, trying to be a sponsor of YouTube, and just trying to spread the word. If you enjoy this video, please share them with your friends. If you like what I saw, again, like this video. Comments would be appreciated. If you guys enjoyed this video, then I would say thank you so much for watching. I know it's been quite a hard time for me to making a video with how bad the economy is right now, and I'm trying to apply more jobs, and unfortunately nothing's coming along my way, and you know what, I keep telling myself I'm gonna push forward, keeping myself going. But one last thing before I end the video. Video games also is, something that will always be remembered by. There are so many great games waiting to be discovered. Like I said earlier, just remembering, back when technology wasn't, around much, back in the 80s and the early 90s, back when Pac-Man, Space Invaders, Galaga, Centipede, and Dig Dug and Frogger were still around, and you got Sonic on Super Nintendo, you got Metroid, you got old Castlevania from the PlayStation 1 days. But leave a comment in the section below if you guys agree with this video. Leave your thoughts and opinions of what video game has inspired you to become a video gamer and a diehard fan of gaming in general. But anyway, I will talk to you guys later. I'm the Ultimate Gamer. Be on the lookout for more videos, and as always, like, comment, and subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, smack that like button. Thank you guys again. I'm the Ultimate Gamer, and as always, I will talk to you later, and be on the lookout for more videos. Have a good weekend, and be on the lookout.